You think you are a singular person. You think you live behind your eyes, but that is a cute, arrogant lie. You are actually a biological mech suit piloted by a committee of 3 trillion single-celled organisms that have completely different goals than you do. Welcome to the holobiont, a walking ecosystem where human cells are actually the minority. By cell count, you are only about 43% human. The rest? Bacteria, fungi, viruses, and archaea. Genetically, it's even more humiliating. You have 20,000 human genes. The colony inside you has 20 million. That means for every 1 gene of you, there are 300 genes of them. You are outnumbered 300 to 1 in your own body. And this makes sense. They were here first. We didn't evolve to host them, we evolved from them. You aren't the landlord, you are the building manager, and the tenants are currently trashing the apartment. So how does a colony of yeast in your colon tell your brain to be depressed? Meet the connection, the vagus nerve. For decades, anatomists thought the brain was the CEO, but we found out that 90% of the fibers in the vagus nerve carry signals from the gut to the brain. Your brain isn't issuing commands, it is a call center receiving millions of complaints per second from the basement. And they don't just send status reports, they have root access to your operating system. You know serotonin, the happy molecule, the thing antidepressants try to fix? You'd think the brain makes that. Wrong. 95% of your body's serotonin is manufactured by gut bacteria. They control the supply chain of your happiness. If the colony is inflamed, they cut the supply line. That chemical imbalance in your brain might actually be a dietary riot in your intestines. They also produce dopamine and gamma-aminobutyric acid. They literally manufacture your motivation and your calmness. They hold the strings to your mood. And if you don't feed them what they want, they pull those strings hard. You think I'm exaggerating? Let's look at the mouse studies, because nothing says science than swapping poop. Researchers took brave mice, adventurous risk takers, and anxious mice who hid in corners. They swapped their microbiomes. Overnight, the personalities swapped. The brave mice became terrified cowards. The anxious mice became bold explorers. They didn't touch the brain, they just changed the tenants. This raises a terrifying question. Is your personality actually yours, or is it just a reflection of what you ate for lunch? If you want to see the horror movie version of this, look at Toxoplasma gondii. It's a parasite that needs to get into a cat's stomach to breed, but it lives in rats, so it rewires the rat's brain. It switches the fear circuit to attraction. The rat becomes sexually attracted to the smell of cat urine. It serves itself up as dinner. And yes, humans have this too. People infected with toxoplasma are statistically more likely to have road rage and get into car accidents. There are microbes that can make you more aggressive, more social, or more neurotic. You are being nudged by invisible hands. We're even finding links between gut bacteria and autism, Parkinson's, and schizophrenia. It's called leaky gut. When the gut wall breaks, toxins leak into the blood and travel straight to the brain. Brain fog, fatigue, inability to focus? That's not you being lazy. That's a toxic spill in your biological engine room. It's not just one big happy family down there. It's a constant, violent war for territory. On one side, you have the symbionts, the good guys, lactobacilli, bifidobacteria. They eat fiber and produce vitamins. On the other, you have the pathobionts, the bad guys, candida yeast, firmicutes. They eat sugar and processed trash. This is a zero-sum game. If the bad guys grow, the good guys die. And here's the conspiracy. The side that's winning gets to decide what you crave. When the yeast population explodes, they hijack your vagus nerve to simulate starvation signals. They can literally change your taste receptors. They make vegetables taste bitter and cardboard sugar taste like gold. You don't have a sweet tooth, you have a parasite infection that is mind-controlling you to feed it. And every time you give in and eat that donut, you're nuking the good guys. Processed food is sterile. It feeds the enemy while starving your allies. It's treason against your own body. But it gets worse. In the last 50 years, we've launched a nuclear war against our own microbiomes. Antibiotics. They are lifesavers, yes, but they are also napalm. One course of strong antibiotics can wipe out 30% of your gut diversity forever. It burns the forest to kill one weed. And guess what grows back first? The weeds, the opportunistic bad bacteria that are resistant to drugs. Even birth has changed. C-section babies miss the bacterial bath of the birth canal. They start life with a sterile gut. We sanitize everything. We don't touch dirt. We eat sterile food. We're starving our internal rainforest. Is it a coincidence that as our internal ecosystem dies, allergies, autoimmune diseases, and depression are skyrocketing? Without the old friends, the bacteria we evolved with, our immune system gets bored and starts attacking our own bodies. So, how do we fight back? How do we overthrow the shadow government? First, stop with the detox. You can't detox a war zone. You have to rebuild the infrastructure. Step 1. Starve the enemy. The bad guys eat sugar and simple carbs. If you cut sugar for 3 days, you will feel terrible. That's the die-off. That's the enemy screaming. Let them scream. Step 2. Send reinforcements. We call them probiotics. But forget the pills. Go for the real stuff. Fermented foods, kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, miso. Each forkful of sauerkraut contains millions of live bacteria. It's an airdrop of elite troops behind enemy lines. Step 3. Supply lines. You need to feed the troops. This is prebiotics. The good guys eat fiber, specifically onions, garlic, leeks, and asparagus. When you eat an onion, you're not feeding yourself. You're airdropping supplies to the resistance. The magic number is 30. Scientists found that people who eat 30 different plants a week have the healthiest guts. Not just salad, seeds, nuts, spices, herbs. Diversity on the plate equals diversity in the gut. And finally, get dirty. Touch grass, pet a dog, open a window. We need to rewild our bodies. We need to invite the good nature back in. What happens when you win the war? It's not just about digestion. The brain fog lifts, the anxiety dial turns down, the background noise of your life gets quieter. You look at a donut and you don't feel a craving. You feel choice. That's what free will feels like. It feels like silence in the cockpit. You'll never be alone. You'll always be a colony. But you can be the CEO again. You just have to treat your employees better. Your body is a temple? No, your body is a garden. And right now, you need to do some weeding. So put down the cookie, pick up the kimchi, and take back control of the ship. The world is full of hidden intelligences. Crows in the sky, bacteria in the gut. We're just the middle management caught in between. If you want to explore more biological horror stories that are actually science, hit subscribe. Tell me in the comments, who do you think is winning the war inside you right now? Hit like to send reinforcements to the algorithm. Drive safe. Thanks for watching.